What's going on, guys? I'm not talking that loud because it's like midnight or something like that right now here in Kansas City. I just I thought I'd make a response to a couple of my subs- uh, fellow Jersey heads challenge videos. The first one I'm gonna answer is Big Babies. I'm long overdue for that one. Like a week late or so. So I'm gonna answer his, and Murf put out two challenges the last couple of days, 2 or 3 days. So I'm gonna answer both of those. The first Big Babies challenge was to name a sports athlete that you think you would have clicked it with, like became best friends with in high school. I think it was high school. It might have just been whenever, but I'm gonna go with high school because I think it was high school, or his school. And his answer was Shaq, of course. I think that's a good answer. I think everybody could click with Shaq. He's hilarious. He's a funny dude. And that's the kind of personality that I always like to hang out with, was just funny dudes, that didn't take life too serious or nothing. And with mine, I couldn't think of any like basketball or football or baseball player just because I don't really, besides interviews and stuff, I don't really know them like as far as their personality and stuff, other than Shaq, just because he don't care. He just lets it all out. He's funny. But Charles Barkley's pretty cool too. But as far as who I would have clicked with, probably I came up with a couple of people. It would have been one of these two, and it's actually, I'm going to the UFC with this one. I'm going with probably either a Rampage, Quentin Jackson, or Rashad Evans. And the reason I picked those two is because they both remind me of two of my closest friends in high school. Um, you know, Rampage kind of has a funny, childish attitude, kind of like Shaq, except he can snap, like that and become Rampage. And it reminds me of one of my friends. Um, and But he's funny as hell at the same time. Rashad Evans, he's funny too, but he's more like the quiet, not taking anything too. He never gets mad. And he reminds me of another friend that I had. So I'd have to say it'd be between one of those two. I'm not sure which one I click better with, but I think it'd be one of those two just because they both remind me of two of my best friends in high school. And really, the reason I picked them over any other athlete is just because I've seen their personalities more on TV, from their post and pre-fights to when they were coaches on the UFC Ultimate Fighter is when I really saw their personalities, and they cracked me up, always playing jokes on each other, making each other mad. So there it is, Big Baby. That's my response to you. It'd have to be either Rashad Evans or Rampage Jackson. Okay, now to Murf's. He had two challenges. The first one was what jersey that hasn't ever been produced yet, that not to my knowledge at least, what jersey that has never been produced by a company that the athlete wore, but a company just never produced that jersey for sale. Um, if you could pick one jersey to have in your collection that has never been produced, which jersey would you pick? Um, that's a tough one because there's a few, but the one that I can really think of that I would think it'd be awesome to own, and I wish Mitchell and Ness would do it. I'd actually wish Wilson would come back and do it just because I like Wilson better, unless Mitchell and Ness went back to their old quality, because right now I don't know if I'm too big on that cut. But it'd have to be I think it's 1992. It might be 1990. I know they wore this style jersey a few years, I think, in Pro Bowls, but as for the player that I'm choosing, I think it's 1992, but it might be 90 or 91. I want to say 92, and that's Derek Thomas. Sorry, his AFC Pro Bowl jersey. I believe it's 92 season. You guys know the white with the American going across the chest with the red lettering and numbering with the blue outline. Everything's heat pressed. I love heat press jerseys. Are my favorite jerseys in authentic styles. They're just more comfortable to me, and I like the feeling of them. I like the look of them. So I'd have to go with the 92, I believe it's early 90s. I'm going to say 92 Derek Thomas AFC Pro Bowl jersey. I wish they would make that jersey. To my knowledge, that jersey has never been made unless Wilson did it back in the day. But as far as my knowledge, I'm pretty up to date on Derek Thomas jerseys that have been made. I've never seen one ever. So, in fact, yeah, I've never seen one at all. So that's my answer to that first challenge to you, Murf. It'd have to be the 1992 Derek Thomas American football jersey. The thing is just sweet looking. All right, and to your second challenge, it was, I just seen it. What was it? It was if you could only collect jerseys of one player, which player would you collect from? You can only choose one player, but you would get all their jerseys that they wore, that they ever wore. My answer to that one is, I'm not so big now that I'm older. I say I'm older, but I'm 21, but I'm not a teenager no more. I don't really have like, I'm not obsessed with like players or have idols of players no more like I was when I was a kid. Where I looked up to a player, wanted to be like that player. Because if you would have asked me this question when I was between the ages of 11 and 18, I'd have said Allen Iverson for sure. Give me all those jerseys. That's what I want. But now I'm still a huge Iverson fan, but more so because it just brings back childhood memories, watching him play, having his jersey, stuff like that. But as far as players, I'm not real big on players. I'd have to go with one of my hometown teams now that I'm older and I love to support my teams, my hometown. So if you'd asked me this question, 3-4 years ago and beyond, I'd have definitely said Allen Iverson. But today you asked me this question, I'm gonna go with, has to be my hometown teams. It has to be the Kansas City Chiefs because that's who I'm a huge football fan. That's what I go for. Love football season. And sorry, I got some in my damn throat. But I would have to pick between Derek Thomas and Tony Gonzalez, and I'm gonna go with Derek Thomas just because the jerseys that were made for Derek Thomas, I'd prefer them just because if I got all his jerseys, I'd get his rookie or early 90s heat pressed jerseys, which are amazing. His early Pro Bowl jerseys, heat pressed. I get the beautiful 94 jerseys, red and white with the patches on them, which I own. The 96 Pro Bowl jersey. Then I could have, the basic plain red and white stitched on jerseys. I believe in the 98 season it was between 96 and 98 they wore a 35th anniversary patch for the Chiefs. So that'd be a cool jersey. I was going to make that jersey, but I can never find that patch. I wouldn't mind having Gonzalez. It's just Gonzalez, he was in that Reebok era in the 2000s, so he only had, even his rookie jersey was a Reebok jersey, I believe, because I've seen it and it was made by Reebok. It was the football helmet jock tags, which is a cool jersey. I have his, the 2000s Ness Reebok jersey, but pretty much that's all I would get is just his red or white jersey, and then all the Pro Bowls he went to. So I'd have to go with Derek Thomas just because the different styles and patches that they wore in the 90s, and especially his Pro Bowl jersey. I love the 90s Pro Bowl jerseys. And you said to show the jerseys you have of the player you picked, and since I picked Derek Thomas, I'll show you the Derek Thomas jerseys I have. Start you off with the red Mitchell and Ness Derek Thomas Chiefs jersey, 1994 season. The white 1994 Derek Thomas jersey by Wilson, though, who I prefer. This is who I'd want to make that 92 Pro Bowl jersey of him. It'd be amazing. I added the patches on myself on this one, but that's my second DT jersey. Everything is double stitch as well. And then, of course, you know I have to have the 96 Pro Bowl one. Mitchell and Ness. So, those are my 3 DT jerseys. I used to have more. I used to have a red heat pressed one. I sold it. I don't remember why. I remember why. I sold it because I already had all these DT jerseys. I didn't know why I needed more, but I actually wouldn't mind having a heat pressed one again, but an authentic one. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this vid. Shout out to all my subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Thank you. Peace.